Welcome back to another edition of Baseball for Maniacs. Now, for my Phillies fans out there, there's been a lot more breaking news. Now, if you're a fan of the podcast, you've seen Owen talk about it a couple of times already, but right now we're going to discuss it for a few minutes, and we're both just going to talk about the whole Bichette saga all of a sudden, because now he's the hottest name on the market.
Yeah, so this is actually pretty freaking funny. So at the beginning, one of our first episodes, we talked about where free agents would go, all that kind of stuff. And I said whoever signs Bo Bichette's going to make a massive mistake. I have done a complete 180 because Bichette is going to be a Philadelphia Philly. It was reported by Matt Gelb, who is the Phillies beat writer for The Athletic. Whatever comes out of Matt Gelb's mouth is true. Like it's not John Heyman, it's not John Morosi, it's not those guys over at MLB Network that are feeding information from the agents. Matt Gelb knows what he's talking about. Bo Bichette is set to meet with the Phillies on Monday. And I did a recent episode about the Don Mattingly hiring as a bench coach, right? Of how it could possibly relate to a Bo Bichette. Now, I said in that episode, I don't think this has really any correlation because you rarely ever see players signing with teams strictly on a relationship with a coach. It helps, but not the determining factor. Per Bob Nightingale, Bo Bichette expressed a desire to play for the Phillies, particularly after Don Mattingly was hired as the bench coach. So all that wasn't true. Don Mattingly being hired as a bench coach could get Bo Bichette to the Phillies. And I've been imploring them for the last month, ever since the Matt Strom trade. That move was a move to free up money. I love JT. If the Phillies free agency was bring back JT and bring back Schwarber, it was a failure of an offseason. What has been the problem in the postseason the last 3 years, Ryan, with the Phillies?
They haven't been able to hit.
Hitting. So it'd be Bregman or Bo Bichette. Those are the guys on the market because Tucker, his market is whatever it is. We're not getting Kyle Tucker. Bo Bichette is a great hitter, a right-handed bat who doesn't strike out. He may chase, but he puts the ball in play. He's a great bad ball hitter. So Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber number 2, Bo Bichette number 3 to split up the lefties so they're not attacked in the postseason with the lefty specialists like they did this year. Harper number 4. You could have a flip-flop, Harper and Schwarber, whatever you want. Bo's batting third. And you know who Bo Bichette's younger than on the Phillies?
Stotty?
Dottie. He is 5 months younger than Bryson Stott, and I love me some Bryson Stott. We'll get in that in the other episode. But it's like, dude, he's young. He just gets hits and hits and hits to where if he's the guy in the playoffs, he's going to make Harper's job easier. He's going to make Schwarber's job easier. We're not going to have to deal with Alec Boehm in the cleanup spot. That in and itself is a off-season win. Alec Boehm will get traded. He just got $10.2 million in arbitration. $10.2 million for Alec. I was going to curse. I don't like cursing. Alec effing Boehm. That's crazy. And I heard their arbitration hearing got a little snippy.
I heard
Okay,
that
Alec.
too.
Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you, Alec Boehm? Whine all the way to freaking Pittsburgh. Our beloved Pittsburgh Pirates. Take Alec Boehm off our hands. We'll give him to you for free. He's a salary dump because we're getting Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette's going to come to the Phillies, and we're going to win the World Series. This is not hyperbole. This is not me being clickbaity. The Phillies will win the 2026 World Series if we get Bo Bichette. Your thoughts?
I mean, my first initial thought was Alec Boehm and the Pirates lineup actually sounds really good for them.
Guy, okay, all right.
But, Mattingly to the Phillies is huge for a couple reasons, honestly. It out of me and you have very important values when it comes to guys being in the dugout and in the clubhouse. But what do you think is the most important value for a coaching hire specifically?
I think Don Mattingly brings the presence of he's been there, done that, and he's been an MVP at the big league level.
That's what it is. He's a former player in his own right, so he knows how to deal with the egos. He knows how to deal with the guys. Oh, I should be hitting second when they're hitting seventh. Oh, it's like, oh, I should be playing shortstop when they just got called up. Like he knows how to deal with those guys. and he's one of probably the more personable guys, one of the more likable guys in baseball. I've always liked Don Mattingly. When he was the manager for the Dodgers, I loved that team. I loved it because Don Mattingly was at the helm. So I think in your world it would just be a match made in heaven because obviously Bo knows Don very well. I personally don't think without Don's presence the Blue Jays do as well as they did. I think them losing him is a massive problem for them, and they're going to have to figure that out with whoever becomes their new bench coach. But Mattingly leaving kind of opened up the AL East a little bit. I don't think people understand how much managing and coaching really matters when it comes to baseball. Sure, you can field a talented team, but the Yankees have had the most talented team in the AL East for the past like 5 years, and Aaron Boone has absolutely nothing to show with it because he's a dog shit manager. Sorry, but the AL East is now wide open again. But it'd be better if all the teams in the AL East were making moves.
Another point on the Don Mattingly thing. So I think besides helping Bo Bichette, helping like the big league players, the stars in the clubhouse, which what he'll do, I think he's going to be an ear for Rob Thompson. I don't think David Robertson goes back out in the seventh inning of game one of the NLDS if Don Mattingly is in that dugout telling Rob Thompson. I think Rob Thompson is a great manager. But if you have another baseball guy that's been there, done that, telling you, hey, Rob, maybe don't send the 41-year-old out there who's never done an up down. And if David Robertson doesn't go out in the seventh, I think we win the World Series. That might be me going insane, but the mix of Don Mattingly coming to the team, if we sign Bo Bichette, the buzz around this team, because right now, Phillies fans, and it's a lot of the miserable ones saying, wake me up in October. This will get everyone back in because he is a star. Bo Bichette is a legit superstar. CBP will be rocking from March to October. Don't forget about the All-Star game when Schwarber and Harper enter the Derby. I will be there for that. Just get it done, Dave. Land the plane, sign Bo Bichette.
I just wish I was as excited as my team's off for my team's off season as you are, honestly. Like
Yeah, talk about your beloved Red Sox.
I feel like I owe an apology to the Red Sox fans who follow this podcast. Guys, I'm sorry. I have nothing to talk about. Like, I have absolutely nothing to go on. We've been trading with the Cardinals all season because Heim wants to give us all of the bad contracts that the Cardinals have. Now, I'm not harping on the Wilson Contreras trade. I actually really like that one. Sonny Gray? Sonny Gray? I did all this talking about Dylan Cease, about how he's a strikeout merchant and about how he does this and he does that. Sonny Gray had pretty much the exact same ERA with less strikeouts. There's nothing glamorous about Sonny Gray. If that's your number two guy, then you failed, Craig. You're doing a worse job than Heim Bloom. You have to try to do a worse job than Heim Bloom. We have a young core. We have a young core that could get us to a competitive position, but the young core is not going to get us to the playoffs. We only made it because of Bregman, and I will die on that hill. We didn't have the pitching to get to where we needed to be. We didn't have the offensive firepower to get where we needed to be. We had spot guys coming in and being the guys that we needed to come in and do work. Abraham Toro was a streaky player on the Red Sox this year. He played first base for us. Romy Gonzalez was another streaky guy who came through when he needed to come through. Need I say more about a guy like Rob Refsnyder, who was always the guy that came through when we needed him? You wanted him on the Phillies. But at the end of the day, this has just been an absolute nightmare for the Red Sox. With the most recent signing that we saw with the Rockies, I forgot who it was. Was it Michael Lorenzen?
Yep, 1 year's $8 million. He got that 1 year deal, and you know what he paid the price for? His career. Michael Lorenzen is going to get rocked in Coors Field, but hey, 1 year's $8 million. You can't blame the guy.
Shout out to that no hitter he had in Philly too. But
Magical. Really thought we were going to win it all, but that's baseball.
but anyway, I don't want to go too long on a tangent here. We do have another episode to record after this. But to make a long story short about what Craig Breslow has done, like I said, there's not much to talk about. It's been a big bunch of nothing. We traded away our top pitching prospect for a guy who's been in the minors for like 5 years. Yeah, his minor league numbers look great, but why hasn't he been to the show? I'm so beyond frustrated with this team. Like, I don't. You weren't like right next to me when the Rafael Devers trade happened, but I was like I literally sent you a text like, yo, send me Phillies pages to follow so I can hop on a bandwagon here because I'm done with this franchise. The way that this offseason has gone, I'm low key on the same trajectory. We have the exact same lineup, including Wilson Contreras. We have the exact same pitching rotation, including Sonny Gray. We got Cutter Crawford back to avoid arbitration. Whoop de freaking do. But we haven't done anything. We are the kings of interest. We were interested in Bo Bichette way early on in the offseason. Nothing happened with that. We were interested in Kyle Schwarber even before the season was over. He signed back in Philly. We were interested in Pete Alonso, and we were told that we were going to go get a big bat to fill in the middle of the lineup, and he signs in the division. Craig, what in the good goddamn are you doing? I am beyond done with Craig Breslow. I'm beyond done with everybody on that team that isn't named Marcelo Meyer or Roman Anthony, quite frankly. Those two guys can stay. Everybody else, pack the bags, ship them to the ocean. I don't care where you put them. Put them in the KBO, put them in the NPB, send them to Mexico so they can go bash Trevor Bauer if they want to. I don't care. Sign Trevor Bauer. Do something. Do anything. Make us look like we want to contend. Don't make us look like we just want to be a major league team. We're not just a major league team. We're the Boston fucking Red Sox. Sorry. Like at the end of the day, we're the Boston Red Sox. We're a team that has been more prestigious than most teams have ever been in their entire lifespan as a team. We are in the upper echelon of the MLB. There's a hierarchy in the MLB. There's a top 3 and the Red Sox are in there. Stop acting like we're the Pirates. I think I'm good.
Gotcha. So love that rant. It's so funny. Well, it's not funny because I don't like seeing you in despair. Um, but the two sides of this episode is I'm saying we're gonna win the World Series before the Bo Bichette signing, and you're saying the Red Sox are failing their fans, which I completely agree. And back on the Devers trade, what did that open up for you guys? About $30 million a year for the next, I don't know, 7, 8 years. They need to go spend that money. Enough with that damn soccer crap they're doing. Enough with all that. Go spend it in your most valuable franchise, which is the Boston Red Sox, one of the most prestige organizations. Because you imagine if they really go in this offseason, they could win the American League. We're going to win the National League. We signed Bo Bichette, and then what? The pod would go insane for a Red Sox Phillies World Series. But that's going to do it for us. I hope you guys enjoyed our rant. We're coming back with another episode tonight. Our top 5 players that we think are going to skyrocket in 2026. So stay tuned for that. And I'll see you in a few minutes, Ryan.
Yes, you will. Stay tuned, everybody.